Hot on the West Coast, and more people in West Michigan are finding a gluten-free diet is beneficial for them too.
If you often experience extreme fatigue, muscle and joint pain, constipation, and or diarrhea, well, there's a chance you could be gluten intolerant.
And there's a free event coming up this Saturday that you need to know about. For those following a gluten-free diet, there's a lot to consider when it comes to what you can eat. We are talking with dietitian Heather Leeds of Family Fare and D&W Fresh Market. Let's start from the beginning, Heather. What does it mean to be gluten-free?
Well, if you're requiring a gluten-free diet, which means that you're sensitive to gluten, which is a protein found in wheat, rye, and barley, then you require a special diet that is gluten-free.
Yeah.
And so we carry a lot of those gluten-free products in our D&W and Family Fare stores, as you can see.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Let's start with this really yummy looking dip. Avocados are one of my favorite things. What did you put in making this?
This was actually really easy. I used diced tomatoes, so fruits and veggies are naturally gluten-free. So I used diced tomatoes, I diced up some red onions, obviously there's some avocado in there, and then I used these gourmet garden herbs right here, the garlic and the basil, and just mixed it in to add some flavor and some nutrition without all the calories and fat. And then we used these delicious rice chips.
Yes. Those are really, really good.
One of my favorites.
Gluten-free?
Gluten-free. They come in several flavors, and they're great for dipping sauces like that.
Fantastic. Okay, well, moving on. Obviously, pasta, a favorite of a lot of people. How did you put this together?
Well, you cook up the gluten-free pasta just like you would ordinary pasta, boil it, and then we just kind of topped it with some shrimp. I chose shrimp. You can use chicken. We also used arugula leaves or some kind of greens in there. And then I used, this is great for the salad dressing, I used an olive oil and chopped up some parsley, and then you just add a little bit of the basil and a little bit of the garlic, and that's your dressing for the salad.
So simple.
Really simple, really flavorful, tasty.
Well, I know healthy and easy are always the recipes that you share with us. And of course, we were talking about gluten-free. And so what meal would be complete without dessert?
I have to agree.
Okay, and this is, something that we actually may find when we're talking about biscuits or pancakes, but...
Yeah, most people are very familiar with the Bisquick brand, and they're familiar with it for, making biscuits or pancakes or waffles, but we actually used it to make a pie crust, and this is a good time of year, with the holidays right around the corner. We have a delicious pumpkin pie that we'll be making.
Oh, fantastic. And I know that you promised it is very simple.
It's easy to make.
Yeah, so we are going to prove it, and we're going to get mixing in the kitchen. Well, every delicious pie needs a great foundation, right?
Right, and it was really easy with our Bisquick mix. I mean, all I did was make it like you would a normal pie crust. We added some butter. If you want healthier, you can use margarine, and then some water, and then you just kind of frame it around there, bake for 10 minutes, and you have a pie crust.
Very, very nice. Okay, so we're getting to the extra yummy part. Where do we start with our cream cheese filling?
Well, you're going to start with cream cheese, actually, and then you want it to soften a little bit so it's easier to stir.
Okay.
And then we have some sugar.
Sugar right here.
And then we're going to add 1 egg yolk. And then we'll just finish with vanilla for a little bit of flavor, and then you just mix it up and right there, mix it together. And then we have our base. So you put the cream cheese on the bottom.
Okay, so a little extra stirring there, but let's move on to our filling now.
Our filling, this is our pumpkin filling. So you're going to start with sugar. And then, of course, pumpkin pie is not pumpkin pie without your spices and nutmeg. And then we have our pumpkin pie filling, which is actually very nutritious for you, rich in beta-carotene, vitamin A. And then we have evaporated skim milk that you'll mix in there.
Nice, okay.
And then just 1 egg slightly beaten, and then you just mix that all together, and there's your top layer.
And then just put this on top of that cream cheese base that we put in there, right?
Yep, you put it right on top of there, and then you put it in the oven. You bake it, depending on the oven, about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. Well, this looks fantastic, and actually it smells really good, too. So the upcoming event in stores, tell us about that.
We have a gluten-free event in our stores. It's coming up October 23rd, which is a Saturday from 10 to 2. It's in select stores. The great news is that we'll have tons of gluten-free samples for people to try, coupons, and we also will have information gluten-free shopping lists, and we'll have an in-store expert there to answer questions.
Well,
so people have questions.
We'll talk about sampling here. This is always my favorite part of cooking with you in the kitchen. We have our cream cheese pumpkin pie, gluten-free, fantastic. So here's to our hard work in the kitchen.
Sounds good to me.
It was really good.
Wow, which is
I
so
would make that at home.
well, and it's amazing because they make it so easy and
do.
so accessible to all of that information. My friends at the beginning of the show was talking about the Wieringas. Jody is actually the mom, has to have a gluten-free diet, and she was saying how it becomes so much easier because
It really has.
in
The awareness
stores
is
you
there.
can find the products that you need.
They have a section where they have a lot of the products, and it's great because there's a lot of education right now for people, and a lot of people are finding out that they are gluten intolerant and feeling better because they are following this diet. The best part, all of those products and recipes don't taste any different than similar products. I can attest to that. The pie crust was very flaky and delicious. We're going to put that recipe as well as the other 2 recipes on our website if you'd like to try them. And if you'd like to check out this Saturday's gluten-free health fair, it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Cascade and Rockford D&W Fresh Market locations.
And at the Family Fair stores in Zeeland, Marshall, and Paw Paw, the Leonard Street store in Grand Rapids, there'll be gluten-free food samples and coupons, recipes, and information. You can also pick up a gluten-free shopping list. There'll be experts on hand to talk about your concerns. In fact, it's so interesting that you would say that pie crust tastes exactly like, or even better than regular pie crust. Jen spends so much time over at the Wieringas, and she'll come home and say, I had the best muffins, or I had the best cookies, completely gluten-free. So you can really have some delicious
Definitely.
products.
Things are changing thanks to our friends at D&W and Family Fair and helping, making that happen. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your all-access pass to everything West Michigan.